If you're watching this, chances are that you already know that there's a connection between stress and your skin, right? Because every time life gets chaotic, your eczema flares, your psoriasis erupts, your acne gets angry, and your rosacea just lights up like a Christmas tree. And at some point, someone, whether it's a doctor, a friend, or honestly the entire internet, has told you to just reduce stress, right? To meditate, to breathe, to do yoga, just calm down, as if it were that easy. And the most frustrating part about all of it is that you're probably already doing all of those things, right? You've journaled, you have visualized, you have stretched your body, gotten the morning sunlight, walked in nature, and tapped your acupressure points until they hurt. And yet, your skin still hasn't changed. So in this video, I want to explain why stress reduction techniques alone don't work and what's actually going on in your subconscious mind and why that is the missing piece that most people completely miss. And at the end, I'll share the exact steps that I took to finally break free from the chronic stress loops that just kept me stuck in constant flare-ups for over 7 years and how you can do it too. Okay, so here's the first thing that nobody explains, all right? You might not even feel stressed anymore because you've been stressed for such a long time. So essentially your system adapted, right? Your baseline shifted to a new normal, chronic stress became just your regular. Essentially, you got so good at being the strong one, the capable one, the one who just handles everything all the time, that you don't even register it as stress anymore. But your body still does. And your skin definitely does. Just because you don't consciously feel stressed doesn't mean that your nervous system is calm, okay? The brain doesn't choose what's good for you, it chooses what's familiar. That's a really important distinction. And when stress has been present for years, that state just becomes so familiar and therefore feels safe to the brain, even if it's slowly damaging the body. And there's this saying that just summarizes this really well, which is, we choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. That's really how powerful the brain's need for safety and ultimately for familiarity really is. And in this context, there's actually a pattern that I see over and over again. Women with chronic skin issues are almost always high-achieving empaths. High-achieving empaths, okay? Probably busy, right? Caring deeply. You might feel responsible for others, and you just hold yourself to extremely high standards. And over time, your nervous system becomes wired for being on high alert, right? Constantly emotionally attuned to others and just people-pleasing, perfectionism, staying in control. All of these things probably sound familiar to you. And the thing is that this isn't stress in the traditional sense of having a bad day or a tough week or anything. And chronic emotional overload is much harder on the skin than the obvious stressful event of giving a big presentation or moving countries. But most doctors don't explain this, ever. Like, they just say, reduce stress and send you home with the next prescription of pills and creams. And there's something to say here on the idea of needing more information about how to actually reduce stress, right? Because that is another interesting loophole that we can go down. Because the truth is that you don't heal through more information that you either get from someone else or that you go out to find by yourself. You don't heal by trying even harder. You need a completely different approach, one that actually works with how the brain truly functions. And here's why. The brain cannot tell the difference between something that you just very vividly imagine and something that you actually experience. So it processes reality through 4 main channels. Okay, we have your thoughts, we have your emotions, mental images, and body sensations. And together, these create experiences. And experiences are what shape and ultimately rewire the nervous system. And so the problem is that most nervous system approaches out there only work on one of those 4 channels at a time, right? So mindset work, for example, or affirmations, they mostly work with thoughts. When you think about talk therapy, for instance, that mainly focuses on uncarving emotions. Visualization works with images primarily. Somatic work focuses on processing body sensations, right? And all of these can be super helpful, but none of them are complete on their own. If you want the brain to truly change a pattern long term, you have to activate all of those 4 channels together, because when the signal becomes strong enough for the brain to register, because only then the signal that you're sending becomes strong enough for the brain to register that something is actually different now. And this is also why traditional stress management tools out there often feel good in the moment, right? But they don't really create any lasting change internally as well as on the surface of your skin. Meditation, breath work, even journaling, they can all calm the mind nicely in the moment, but they don't permanently clear out the underlying emotional charge that has been stored in the nervous system for years. I mean, you've probably experienced this yourself, right? You meditate and then you feel a bit better and you get up from your little meditation cushion and you check your phone, and then there's this one stressful message from your boss and suddenly you're right back in the stress loop that you were just trying to escape. And maybe you've even already noticed that in those very moments you start itching, you start squeezing and picking your skin when you're feeling this overwhelm again. And the reason why you're still feeling this overwhelm despite just having meditated is because meditation often works by pushing away all of the uncomfortable thoughts and emotions, right? And whilst that can bring temporary relief, it doesn't make the emotions magically disappear. And the thing is, emotions are the language of the body, right? If we don't process them, the body will find its way to express them in chronic pain, for instance, skin issues, digestive complications. Every body, quite literally, is different. And because of the intimate connection, though, between the brain and emotions and the skin, right? When we're embarrassed, we turn red. When we're scared, we turn white. Like, the skin communicates so much of our emotions. It's really important to notice that there's a lot of scientific evidence showing that the skin is actually not just a detox organ for physical toxins, but it often becomes a place where unprocessed emotional stress shows up, especially when emotions were suppressed or ignored or just felt unsafe to feel for a long time. And so if we don't find ways in which we can process emotions and challenging experiences fully and deeply, they are much more likely to come out literally as physical, red, inflamed, reactive skin signals showing that there's something going on under the surface. So you're not getting flares because your body is broken or trying to work against you in any way, but because it's actually trying to regulate and protect you in the only way that it knows how. Let me share an analogy that makes this really clear. Okay, meditation, journaling, breathwork, all really traditional nervous system regulation approaches can be thought of more as supplements. They're supportive, right? They're helpful and great for overall well-being. I use them regularly too, and I think they're awesome. But if you had a real serious infection, right, supplements alone wouldn't fix it. Like, you wouldn't meditate an infection away, right? You wouldn't try to journal your way through it. You would take a targeted intervention that removes the actual problem under the surface. And so brain rewiring really works the same way. It's almost like it can be compared to a mental antibiotic, but with positive side effects. The reason why this analogy works so well is because brain rewiring goes into the subconscious mind, finds the emotional charge there that's keeping your nervous system stuck in the survival mode, releases it, and ultimately shuts down the stress response that's driving the inflammation in your body and in your skin. So supplement methods like meditation, breathwork, journaling, all of these, they help when we have little issues and to process them. But if we've had a long-standing issue, like a chronic skin issue that might have been there for years at this point, we usually need something that's just a little bit deeper. And this actually leads to one of the most important points out of all of them, which is that your skin is not reacting to today's stress. Okay, it's reacting to emotional memory stored in your nervous system. Your flare-ups are not random, right? They can be seen more as learned responses and patterns from your body that it adapted to at some point to keep you safe, because literally its only goal of this physical meat suit that we're in here is to keep you thriving and surviving. Why would it ever work against itself and attack itself? It makes no sense evolutionarily, okay? So when it does show any type of symptoms, there's always a reason for that. So basically, if you were anything like me and you have already done the inner work, right, and you're meditating and going to therapy and doing all the things and nothing has actually worked for you and your skin, then this is the reason, right? Because you've been trying to soothe this inner stress on the surface with some supplement interventions rather than actually going deeper to clear the patterns underneath, which is exactly what brain rewiring does, and which is why it works so quickly, right? Because it speaks the language of the subconscious mind. It interrupts these old survival loops and sends a very clear message to the nervous system that says, we are safe now. Okay, not some, I'm safe, I'm okay, like actually a felt deep experience of that safety. Because most people think they want to understand and find out the magical root cause of their issues, right? So that they ultimately can control them. But underneath that need for control and understanding about why your skin is the way that it is almost always this deeper need for safety, especially safety in your own body. Because the thing is that living with chronic skin issues, chronic health issues in general, can almost feel like a betrayal trauma. Like you do everything that you can to help heal your body, whether it's with creams or diets or detoxes or inner work, right? And ultimately, your body just keeps letting you down. And unlike a relationship with another person, you cannot walk away from your body. And so healing requires actually repairing this relationship that we have with ourselves and with our physical body. We have to feel safe within ourselves and our body again first, despite everything that happened, because when we do that, when we feel emotionally safe, the body releases hormones and neurochemicals that actually support the repair and regeneration that we're looking for, including skin renewal. So instead of just asking, how do I reduce stress? I want you to ask a slightly different question, which is, how does my skin actually make me feel? Stop thinking about for a moment like all of the root causes and all of the things that might have triggered a flare this time, like all of that. Just focus purely on the emotional response, like why is your skin a problem for you? How does it make you feel? What does it bring up? Is it shame about the way that you look and what others think about you? Is it a sense of helplessness, like I don't freaking know anywhere what to do? Is it a sense of anger, like, oh my God, I just want this to go, I'm so frustrated, right? Like just try to sense what emotional reaction your skin provokes inside of you. A constant sense of being on guard or not wanting to be seen, like hiding away. Because that feeling is the real signal that your nervous system is responding to all the time. And as long as your emotions stay unprocessed, your body stays in protection mode, essentially, no matter how much you try to meditate or calm yourself down in any other way. Because you can't think your way out of a feeling that your nervous system hasn't resolved yet. You can't just ignore it away and try to just focus on the love and light over there, right? You have to process through all of the inner objections and resistances that you've created in your mind over time to actually be well again. The disbelief of, I can heal, for instance. And when you remove these objections of, this is not possible for me, this is not gonna work, this is not gonna do anything, that's where things actually start to change. Because when you start there with how your skin makes you feel and all of the objections and resistances inside, you're no longer trying to force calm, right, by pushing the stress away. You're finally listening to what your body has been trying to communicate all along, not what your favorite influencer out there tells you of like, oh, this is the reason why your body is behaving in this way. You are the expert for your own body, nobody else. And I can tell you, after having spent 7 years myself trying everything else out there, I mean, I did my master's and compared so many different nervous system regulation approaches designed to help the body heal. The absolute most effective and efficient thing that I have come across in my own career is brain rewiring, because it goes a lot deeper and it acts a lot more quickly than anything else. And it's so simple. It can literally work for anyone. And because I'm all about efficiency, okay, I'm German, this is just something that I wish I would have discovered a lot earlier in my own skin and self-healing journey. And to try it out for yourself, I've linked some of my most popular free resources below, which are a great starting point really for learning how to work with your subconscious mind, with brain rewiring, so that your skin can finally heal naturally once again. And if anything else that I've shared in this video resonated with you on a little bit of a deeper level, please just like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions on it, because I look at every single one of them and I am more than happy to help however I can, because I know so much how it sucks to just live with skin issues and to just feel stuck no matter what you're doing. But there is a way out, okay? And I want you to remember that stress reduction alone is not the end-all be-all, the magical solution. It's about pattern rewiring and experiences rather than knowledge. Because once we change the experience of how we perceive our body and our skin, when we change the patterns up here, your skin does change too. That's not some woo-woo, that's real neuroscience and biology.